All right, so one of the first things that you need to be aware of as a complete beginner that's looking to start dropshipping is that you need to make sure that you pick the right platform. And when I say platform, there's so many different websites that you're going to be able to list products on, and then from there you're going to be able to dropship them to your customers. But the two best platforms that I always recommend people to use, and the ones that I personally use with my dropshipping businesses, is eBay and Shopify. And I'm sure most of you already know what eBay is. It's basically a website that allows you to list products and then you're going to be able to sell them. And a lot of people out there don't realize that you can use it to build your dropshipping business. So not only can you find a supplier and then get products in bulk and then sell them that way, but you're also going to be able to build a dropshipping business. Similar with Shopify as well, you're going to be able to build your e-commerce website, and if you want to import products in bulk, you can do that. But you're also going to be able to build a dropshipping business. Now, the most important thing to be aware of when it comes to deciding which one to start off with as a complete beginner is the pros and the cons of each one. And I've broken down the advantages and the disadvantages of both eBay and Shopify right here. So let's start off with the pros for eBay. The first one is that you're going to have access to millions of different customers. A lot of people think that eBay is dead and that no one goes on there to buy things anymore and everyone's using Amazon, when that's not the case, because millions of people are going onto eBay every single month, which means that you're going to have access to all of these different visitors if you use it for your dropshipping business. Another pro is that there's no need for paid ads. So because there's millions of different visitors that are going onto eBay every day, you're not going to have to use paid ads straight away. You're going to be able to list your product for free, and only when you make a sale, that's when you're now going to pay a final value fee. Another pro is that there's a lot of previous sales data. And by this, what I mean is that because there's so many sellers on eBay, so many different companies, you're going to be able to access a lot of their data for you to make better decisions when it comes to knowing which products you should be selling yourself. And I'm going to show you exactly how to find the winning product later on in this video. So make sure that you keep watching. And one of the final pros that I'm going to talk about is that you've got a certain level of seller protection. Because eBay is the middleman between the buyer and the seller, that means that you're going to have a certain level of protection if a buyer is trying to scam you. Over my many years of selling on eBay, this has definitely been a big benefit and has helped me save a lot of money over the years. Moving on to some of the negatives of dropshipping on eBay is that you're going to be dealing with direct competition. So whenever a customer goes onto eBay, they type in an item that they want to buy, they're going to be flooded with so many different options, and all of your competition is going to be right there in front of them. So you're going to have to be smart when it comes to knowing what type of strategies and what type of tactics to use to stand out amongst all of the competition that's going to be on eBay, selling the exact same items as you. So moving on to another negative of dropshipping on eBay is that you're going to have to deal with buyer protections. So similar to what I said about seller protection, on the flip side of that, sometimes eBay steps in and helps the buyer. And in many situations, sometimes they just refund the buyer and take the money out of your bank account. So this is definitely something you need to be aware of. And one of the final negatives that I'm going to talk about, which is one of the most annoying things about selling and dropshipping on eBay, is that you've got no access to your customers' email addresses. So I'd say maybe in the last 3 years, eBay completely changed the way that they did things, because 3 years ago, I was able to have access to all of my customers' email addresses. And the reason why this is important for any online business is because you want to be able to market to your customers, have a relationship and build up some sort of level of communication with your customers. However, eBay has limited that over the years because they don't want sellers building businesses outside of eBay. So again, this is definitely something you need to be aware of, because if you want to build a business over the long term, you want to make sure that you're capturing your customers' email addresses and you're marketing to them for you to continue growing your business. However, because eBay doesn't allow that to happen, you may want to consider other options. And this is where Shopify now comes in. And one of the main pros of selling on Shopify is that you're going to have access to your customers' information. And because you're going to be using Shopify to build your own e-commerce dropshipping website, they're not really going to stand in your way when it comes to getting customers' data, because they know that this is very important for your growth and they want to keep you on the Shopify platform for as long as possible. So that's why I truly believe that them allowing you to have access to your customers' information is a big pro. Another pro is that you can get started today. Setting up a Shopify website is very easy. You're going to be able to sign up for a 14-day trial. If you want to do that, there's a link in my description down below. You can get set up today, design your store if you know how to do it, and then start selling from day one. Another advantage to Shopify is that there's no direct competition. Once a customer lands on your website, if you've designed it in a really good way and you've made sure that it's a high converting website, then they're not going to be distracted by other companies because they're going to be on your website. So that's one of the biggest pros of building up an e-commerce website, because once you're able to get a customer to land on your website, from there, you're now going to be able to learn various different strategies and use various different tactics for them to go to checkout and just buy the item. And one of the ways that you can turn a non-paying customer into a paying customer once they land on your website is by using all of the available apps that they have in the app store. So that's one of the things that you're not necessarily able to do with something like eBay or even something like Amazon. Any other platform doesn't really allow you to have apps that you're able to connect to your store to increase conversions. So again, I would say that this is one of the biggest benefits of using Shopify for your dropshipping business. Now, in terms of the negatives of using Shopify, one of the first things is that you may have to use paid ads. So because no one's ever heard of your website or your brand, you're going to have to use some form of paid ads to get people onto your website, and then from there they can now buy the item. But without you using paid ads, there's a low chance of them being able to find your website in the first place. So I wouldn't really say that this is a complete negative, because most e-commerce businesses need to use some form of paid ads to get people onto their website, and then they just include what they paid for the paid ads into the price of the product. So it's not all bad. It's just something that you need to know if you are looking to start dropshipping, so that you can have that budget available, so that you're able to run paid ads, get those people onto your site, and then start making sales. Another negative is that you may need design skills. So because you're building a e-commerce website from scratch, you're going to need to know how to do things in a certain way and design your store in a certain way so that customers don't think that it's a low budget website. And this is something that you can definitely do yourself. You don't need to pay anyone, but if you feel like you're not really good when it comes to designing websites and setting up your store in a way that is going to convert customers into buying things from you, then you may need to pay someone to design your website. And this could be done fairly cheap for, let's say, $200, $300. But just like with everything else, you're just going to have to make sure that you have some sort of budget available for this. And one of the final negatives is that you don't have any brand authority from day one anyway. So this is similar to the first negative that I said. No one's going to really know who you are. No one's going to trust your brand. However, with something like eBay, because eBay has built up a brand name over the past 20, 30, 40 years, however long it's been, people are familiar with eBay. So when they go on there, customers don't even realize that they're buying from individual businesses. A lot of people trust eBay, and because of that, they're willing to bring out their credit card and buy without even having any second thoughts. So because of that, eBay is definitely a great way for beginners to start their dropshipping business. But as you start to scale and as you start to get more sales and as you want to continue growing your dropshipping business, that's when you can now move over to Shopify, or you can start Shopify first. It doesn't really matter, but those are the pros and the cons of each one. Now that you're aware of all of this, what I want to do is break down some practical things that you need to be aware of straight after watching this video. Alright, so moving on to the next thing that you need to be aware of if you are looking to make money online with a dropshipping business is that you need to know exactly what to look out for when it comes to finding the best dropshipping supplier. And there's so many different suppliers that you can use out there. The three main ones that I've used over the past few years is Alibaba.com, AliExpress, and CJ Dropshipping. In my opinion, these are the three best ones for so many different reasons, but whichever supplier that you're going to go with, you need to know exactly what to look out for. And I've broken it down in this dropshipping supplier checklist. So one of the first things is that you need to look for the supplier that's going to offer you the fastest delivery. So to give yourself the best chances of success, you need to make sure that whatever supplier that you're going to go with is going to be able to get the order to your customer in the quickest way possible. Because if the customer has to wait 20 days for them to receive their item after they've given you the money, they're not going to be happy, which is going to lead to a lot of negative feedback. So you need to try and make sure that you're reducing the transit time as much as possible. Around 5 days, maybe 7 days, 10 days max will be really good for you to make sure that you're going to have your dropshipping business over the long term. The next thing that you want to look out for when picking a supplier is that you need to look at their refund and warranty process. One thing that I personally do with any item that I dropship and any supplier that I'm going to use is that I always ask them what is the refund process and how long is the warranty period for. Reason being is because when it comes to building any e-commerce business, you're always going to have to deal with refunds, and you want to know exactly how you're going to send the item back to the supplier and whether or not they even accept refunds in the first place. So this is definitely a big factor that you need to consider before you use any supplier and you start selling that product. Another thing you want to look out for to reduce the refunds that you're even going to get is whether or not that product has got a lot of good reviews from actual users. So I always try and look for reviews from actual people that have bought the product, because this is a great indication of whether or not people are happy with the quality or people are happy with how long it took for them to receive it. So make sure that you double check this one as well. And one of the final things that you need to look out for is the inventory levels. And for anyone that doesn't know what inventory is, this is basically the stock levels. You want to make sure that the supplier that you're going to use has thousands or at least multiple different hundreds of the product that you're looking to dropship, especially if you're going to build an entire dropshipping store around that product, because there's no point listing the product on your store, you start making sales, and the supplier's only got 10 available in their warehouse. So this is definitely one of the questions that you need to ask your supplier before you commit to selling that product, because if you're not able to find the item anywhere else, or the supplier is not going to be able to restock, then it's just going to be wasted time, and you've probably only made $100, maybe $500. So make sure that you find out the inventory levels and the availability of the product before you decide to go with any supplier. All right, so swiftly moving on to the next most important part of building a dropshipping business is knowing exactly what a winning dropshipping product is. Now, there's so many different characteristics that you need to be aware of, but I've broken it down into the 4 most important ones. So right here, as you can see, the first thing that you need to be aware of is that the item should ideally be selling for more than $20 per unit. Reason being is because if you're going to dropship an item and you're only going to sell it for, let's say, $5, then there's not going to be a lot of profit there. So you want to make sure that you're going to be able to sell the item for over $20. In addition to that, you also want to make sure that you're getting back at least 30% return on investment, which means that if you're going to be selling an item for, let's say, $50, you want to make sure that you're getting back at least $15 in profit minimum. Of course, the higher the better, but if you're getting back at least 30% return on investment, that way you're going to be able to build up a decent amount of cash flow that you're now going to be able to reinvest back into your dropshipping business. Another thing that you need to look out for to decide whether or not a product is worth selling is if it has a low refund rate. You want to make sure that whatever product you're going to sell, customers are not refunding in high amounts, because of course, this is going to eat into your profit. In my experience, I've noticed that highly electrical items that customers have to plug the item into an actual electrical socket tend to come with a lot of problems. So these may be the type of items that you want to stay away from. The third characteristic of a winning product is if it's highly searched for as well. Now, of course, you can sell items that people are not really searching for and they may come across on their social media feed when you use some sort of advertising. But if you're able to sell an item that customers are actively looking for, then you're going to be able to guarantee that you're going to make a decent amount of money. And the fourth thing that you want to look out for is whether or not the item is small and lightweight. The smaller the item and the higher the value, the more likelihood it's going to be a winning product. Reason being is because it's going to be cheap when it comes to your customers buying the item from you and then you having to pay for shipping from your supplier. Same thing goes if the customer wants to refund the order for whatever reason. When you have to now pay for that shipping for the customer to send it back to you, that's going to be cheap as well. So overall, you're going to be able to save a lot of money. However, if you're dropshipping big, heavy, bulky items, it's going to eat into your profit margin. So make sure that you're looking out for small and lightweight items. And moving on to one of the final things that you need to know when it comes to building a dropshipping business is that you need to understand what you need to be aware of when it comes to automating the entire process. And when I say automating the entire process, there's various different parts that you're going to be able to automate, which is going to save you time and it's just going to make things a little bit more efficient. Like for example, the listing process when it comes to connecting products from your supplier's website onto your eBay store or your Shopify store. You want to try and automate that entire process because whenever your supplier runs out of stock, things are going to be done in a way that everything is going to be updated accordingly, as well as automating the fulfillment side of things as well. Whenever you make a sale, you don't want to sit there having to copy and paste your buyer's name and address and their email address one by one. So you want to find a way that whenever you get a sale, you're going to be able to automatically fulfill the orders without you even having to do anything. And the only things that you should be thinking about is how to find winning products, how to optimize your store, how to make different elements of your dropshipping business a little bit more systematic. And that's why it's very important to make sure that you can automate different systems from day one. Now, I've already made a video breaking down exactly how you can do this. I'm going to leave that video right there. In that video, I break down how you can start a dropshipping business, how you can automate the listing and the fulfillment side of things, and everything you need to know as a beginner when it comes to starting your dropshipping business from scratch. So make sure you check that video out straight after this one because it's already helped out a lot of people. Or if you rather sign up to a free webinar where I go through exactly what I personally had to know and do when it came to scaling my Shopify dropshipping business to over $1,000 every single day as a complete beginner, you can check that out by clicking the first link in the description down below. If you've enjoyed this video, don't forget to press the like button, don't forget to subscribe, hit the bell notification. All right guys, I'll see you on the next one. Make sure you stay safe out there. Peace.